This is 7-5 Radio with Walter Yerkew and Peter Scoop Stanton. This is the radio show that will break your neck, if your neck needs breaking. And here are the hosts of 7-5 Radio, Walter Yerkew, star of the biggest documentary movie ever made, The 7-5, and Peter Scoop Stanton, who starred in To Catch a Predator.
Good morning, good afternoon, evening, one and all. This is Peter Scoop Stanton with Walter Yerkew on 7-5 Radio, red hot and rolling this 25th of April, 2025. We're going to skip the introductions, to skip everything. Also on the line, we have last week's guest, Tony Sabio, who is a hospital corpsman, and he was a member of the U.S. Secret Service emergency response team. First of all, Walt, how are we doing tonight?
Better than Mr. Trump right now.
Right. All right. Tony, how are we doing tonight, sir?
Hey, Steve, I'm doing good. Hey, well, besides what's going on right now.
All right, real quick. Right now, tonight, about 8:30 local time in Washington, Washington Hilton, the White House dinner was going underway with the president, vice presidents, his cabinet, Speaker of the House, many dignitaries. Also, we have a on scene. I'm trying to have this visual call in if possible. And shots were fired outside of the ballroom. What we know is that one person is in custody. There's one injury of a member of the service. We don't know if it's Secret Service or Metropolitan Police Department. They took a round in the bullet-resistant vest, and the event has been canceled, and everybody is being sent home. And in the next 10 to 15 minutes, the president will be given a briefing from the White House. Tony, you were a member of the U.S. Secret Service emergency response team. Why don't you take it away? What have you seen good? What have you not seen good? Because glued to Fox 5 here in D.C.
Yeah, so thank you for having me to talk about this. And, you know, we're seeing so many different things happening from Butler, what happened down in Mar-a-Lago, to now what we're seeing here. And hats off, first off, to the Secret Service. They are the line of defense and the magnetometers. That was actually what's showing is a Secret Service officer at the magnetometers that actually took a shot and then returned fire. What is saying now, reports are saying that he is safe. The person that the Secret Service officer that took the shots, he's in good condition, took a shot to his body armor. But these things are very hard, and you got to look at the Washington Hilton. It's actually a hotel. And there's our layer of security that goes on through, and the last line of defense is going to be the closed-off area that the Secret Service controls, and that's the magnetometers. Now, you know, this magnetometers are set up to be able to look at these, look for weapons coming through. So what it turns out is the person approached, what the reports are saying, approached the magnetometers and started firing. The distance between that, I've been at the Washington Hilton, where these are at, it does echo through there. The exact distance to the ballroom, it's not close at all. So there's some distance there, but it is alarming that somebody is getting that close once again. The hardest thing about this for the Secret Service, like I said, it is the Washington Hilton is a hotel room, so there are people moving around. They try to secure as much as possible. There are a lot of people moving around. Similar to if it was happening again outside at a venue, there are going to be the outer perimeter that's going to be regular people out there. It's not so they get closer that they actually go through the magnetometer.
Right. And I've been watching the news, and Fox 5 has had people on the scene walking out of the Hilton, and they said that the magnetometer was very close to the. Now, you said you were there before. Is that protocol for to have the magnetometer right at the ballroom instead of like at the hotel entrance?
So you got to remember, this is in the actual hotel. So there's people coming in and out. So the ballroom is separated off to the side of where the actual hotel entrance, the main one. So they'll close it off. Now, the whole section where the ballroom is to the floor, there's two different areas they can enter from. And there'll be multiple magnetometers. So you'll have the main magnetometer for guests coming in. And then you have secondary ones for staff and different things like that. Those could be the ones for staff could be relatively closer to, but still there's some distance. That's some dead space to get through. The thing with that, when you start hearing gunfire, it all depends relative to the room. You get a lot of echo coming through that makes it sound louder than where the actual gunfire is. Now, it all depends on exactly where this is happening, but typically there are going to be some distance. There'll never be a line of sight right where the magnetometers are to directly inside the ballroom, such as if someone just starts shooting towards the magnetometer, it's not going to go ahead and go through and then eventually go to your protectee. So there will be some distance for these particular ones. I don't know exactly which ones they were at, but typically at these locations, and when I've been over there at the Washington Hilton, there's going to be some set off. It's not going to have any direct line of sight to where the actual protectee is going to be at. But it does echo, and things that happen in, say, a corridor or a hallway or a big open area, the sounds will travel.
Wow. Now, once they gave the order to evacuate, you had guys from ERT with the long guns coming out, dressed out. How did the ERT react to evacuate the president from your perspective?
So what I saw some news reports, and there's ERT and CAT. CAT is the counter-assault team that comes close to the president, and they're supposed to secure him and let the detail take him out. Then the ERTs are the ones that actually respond. So when you see some of these news reports going on in the video, you see the guys with the long gun running along the hallway towards where the incident is. That's the ERT team rushing to where the issue was to see if there's any secondary. The CAT team coming out and securing around the president, that's exactly what they usually do. So the CAT team will be in close proximity just to make sure there's nothing advancing. And these are why there's levels of security, levels to ensure that any bad person, anyone who wants to come through, you got the first level that they have to get through. Then there's levels within that to make sure. The CAT team coming out is typical protocol. They came out fast. They secured, did a 180 around. You actually saw on the video that when they approached the president to get him down first, Secret Service agent stood in front on a podium or on a stage. He got in front and stood in front because that is typically what they need to do to create a 180 around. And then once they got him and talked about the direction they're moving him to, they moved him briskly. At the same time, CAT coming out to ensure that there's nobody coming in from the ballroom area and make sure everything's secured. It was quick. It was fast. You had moving parts going to the incident real fast. A lot of things happening. It's typically they did a fantastic job of what I've seen. But like I said, I like to go back to this. You know, these venues are very hard to secure unless you secure the whole building and no one goes in, no one goes out, no access. When you have it at a location like this where it's a hotel, an active hotel, it makes it harder. Even if you secure off one area, there are still people that have access to the hotel. So it's not like securing the White House, which is deemed 100% safer than what you're seeing here. It does cause a lot of issues, and I think in the future you're going to start seeing a very, very robust signature when we do these things. And he's actually said that within 30 days, he's going to have this event. That's a testament to Trump's feeling on the Secret Service, how he feels secured with them. But nevertheless, you know, we look at this as a lot of things happening, but we have to understand that the Secret Service is there to ensure that anyone comes close is able to be neutralized or detained right away. And the hardest thing, I look at this from a standpoint of a person that served his country, served in Secret Service, and also running for political office right now, is the rhetoric. How do we get to a point in our life right now that people are willing to do this kind of stuff to a person, just another American is just trying to do his job?
Right. I want to throw it to Walter. Walter, comments or questions? Because I know you're loaded for bear.
Yeah, comments and question. Is there any description? Okay, well,
all right.
We'll get it on the back
when we
end.
come. Yep. All right. This is 75 Radio with Scoop State, Walter Yerkew, and our guest, Secret Service Emergency Response Team member Tony Sabio. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll just get warmed up.
Have you ever had great honey? No, I mean really good, all-natural, raw honey? Well, now you can, thanks to localhoneyman.com. We can ship out our locally made honey all across the U.S. So don't worry, you won't miss out. Plus, Local Honeyman has so many different flavors, like Utah Wildflower, High Desert Delight, Happy Valley, and Blackberry, just to name a few. So purchase your delicious raw honey today at localhoneyman.com.
You know where the solution can be found, Mr. President? In churches, in wedding chapels, in maternity wards across the country and around the world. More babies will mean forward-looking adults, the sort we need to tackle long-term, large-scale problems. American babies in particular are likely going to be wealthier, better educated, and more conservation-minded than children raised in still industrializing countries. As economist Tyler Cowen recently wrote, quote, "By having more children, you're making your nation more populous, thus boosting its capacity to solve climate change. The planet does not need for us to think globally and act locally so much as it needs us to think family and act personally. The solution to so many of our problems, at all times and in all places, is to fall in love, get married, and have some kids."
As you are aware, America is divided over every fault line possible. This is intentionally fostered by those who do not love God, family, or country. We believe a peaceful future as a free people absolutely depends on civility. Clarion Call for Civility is looking for funding and volunteers at every level to make our hopes and efforts a reality. Please donate, sign our pledge, and help us in our sacred cause. Please visit callforcivility.com for more details. Callforcivility.com.
You're back, and Scoop is just getting done staring at Danila's Instagram account. Here's more 7.5 Radio.
And we're back. Scoop Stanton with Walter Yerkew and our guest, once again, Tony Sabio, who is a member of the U.S. Secret Service Emergency Response Team. Walt, I'll throw it to you. Comments and questions.
Just if Tony knows anything about the shooter, description, age, and anything pertinent.
Yeah, there's nothing that's coming out right now. First reports were saying that he was shot. That's not true. He was killed.
Right.
That reports coming in false, but there's nothing right now that's coming that I'm seeing about any descriptions or anything like that. And
right.
Frankly, when we start looking at this, I mean, this is a thought out plan. This is somebody that knew exactly what was happening, where the president was showing up, and actually did this premeditated to come towards him. This wasn't just someone woke up and all of a sudden I just decided I want to do this. This was a premeditated, and Secret Service and FBI are going to get to the bottom of this. I'm sure they're going to be releasing the description of the individuals shortly.
Okay. All right. These people are just trying to be martyrs for whatever psychotic episodes they think they have. And, like that kid in July before the election, just wanted to waste Mr. Trump, be a martyr. That idiot at the golf course, another one that wanted to just name 15 minutes. This guy, whoever he may be, is a loser. Put him right in the pot with Sirhan, John Wilkes Booth, Oswald. Just throw them right in the barrel with the rest of that scum. These aren't anything but people that want to go to the extreme because of the rhetoric that's been going on for the past 10 years against Mr. Trump. And we just can't have this. We had creepy Joe Biden, talk about, the rhetoric speeches have to stop and the name calling has to stop after July of 2024. And it just freaking continued a week later. And it continues. We're in the middle of a war. Nobody wanted a war, but this is the man that is saving us from in a war and possible high loss of life if Iran ever attacked us. So, you want to pay a little bit extra for gas because of what's going on. Well, they paid a lot extra for gas because of what was not going on in the past administration. So, these people, they're picking at the wrong targets. And, this is, a very good man. He's a very conscientious man, Mr. Trump is. And to put not only him, but all of his constituents and the people that are in the media, all around, it's a correspondents dinner, for God's sake. These are the people that are going to report on you. And, well, it's just sad to say we're in a sorry state right now with these psychotics. Let's see how many Democrats or people from the far left step up and start screaming gun control again. But then again, the target was Mr. Trump, so they won't scream gun control.
No, you're completely correct, and I can tell you a little bit more what I'm seeing on X. And they're saying that this is staged. A lot of these Democrats are these very loons saying that this has been another Butler stage, that it was all orchestrated by Trump, and this is just getting ridiculous. The man had assassination attempt on him in Butler, came close to losing his life, and the Democrats love to just play it off as, oh, Trump, yeah, he staged it for show. Same thing with this, staged it for show. This is not staged. I don't think President Trump needs to go out anywhere and try to stage anything for any clicks or headlines. I mean, this is a person that is constantly under attack by the media. The same media that is sitting there in the correspondence dinners are the one that raise the rhetoric all the time on Trump with their headlines going through. So this is definitely not a stage act that happened. This is actually is built off of what the media, the mainstream media, is pushing to incite people to want to do these things by carving out what the real story is, carving out their narrative. And frankly, also what we're seeing with a lot of Democrats. Not too long ago, about a week and a half ago, I had a debate with the Hispanic community at Town Hall Forum, and there was two Democrats on the stage with me. And the only thing they could say is, we have to save democracy from Trump. That is their message. And so when that message resonates out there with people that are just sitting on the edge, they're thinking, we need to do something. I need to do something. I need to save America from Donald Trump. I need to save democracy. And that is the thing that is what the media is creating, what these politicians are creating an atmosphere where people like this take it upon themselves to try to do something that they should never be doing at all. And they're driven by what the media is pushing out there, the narrative of these very progressive lawmakers are doing. And frankly, a lot of people in the entertainment industry that are saying the same type of things. It is just getting crazy and crazier every single day. And we have to change this rhetoric right now. This cannot. And every Democrat politician out there, and I will call my colleagues running on the Democratic side for Congress, they need to stand up and say this is not what America is about. The president is the person sitting in that seat represents America, regardless what party it is. And when I was in the Secret Service, I looked at that seat and not the person, and I was there to protect the seat. And we need to get back to that, and we need to end this lunacy.
Right.
Hey,
and,
Tony,
breaking...
I said,
go ahead, Walt.
I said, something similar. I wasn't in the Secret Service, but the last presidential administration, I said on the air a few times, President Biden was, who he was, but I'd still take a bullet for him because he's my president. He was representing our country, even though I didn't like a lot of the things he did, but I'd take a bullet for him. And I think, there are people out there that would say just the opposite for Mr. Trump. And, these are the kind of people that need to go somewhere else to reside, period, where they can hide, in an Ireland subculture, stone house, or an English flat. Those are the people that need to go to those places.
Right. But anyways, sorry to interrupt. Tony, breaking news, the alleged suspect, I don't know how accurate this is, but it says the suspect is a 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen from Torrance, California. He is, I guess, a registered Democrat, and he is in custody. Now, Tony, earlier today, about 5:30, I was right outside the Washington Hilton where the event took place, and you had MPD already on scene. You had Secret Service on scene. How did this gentleman get into the hotel?
Well, like I said, this hotel is still a working hotel. They're going to be out there. This gentleman is just moving along with the crowd. There's ways to get through. That's why you got the magnetometer sitting there, so they don't get all the way in with anyone. But nevertheless, it's still a working hotel. You're going to have law enforcement. You're going to have everyone around. They are looking for any immediate threats, any vehicles coming up. They're looking at different things that can happen, such as vehicle-borne explosive devices. Vehicles rolling up, parking on the side, trying to, leaving it there with possible explosives. But it doesn't take away the fact that this is a regular hotel. It's out in the air, in the open. I mean, I was doing an event over at a similar hotel, and right outside you had protesters. Everyone at the motorcade went by. I mean, it's when you're traveling certain areas and you start looking at these venues, unless they secure the whole complete venue, meaning the whole hotel, and close out the hotel, it's relatively hard to be able to control the movement that's going in and out of the hotel itself.
Oh, so like I could have gone into the hotel and it says, "Well, what's your business?" "Oh, I'm going to get a drink at the bar," and they Secret Service let me go walk to the bar.
Not necessarily. So it could be depending on what that location is, but it also could be that he could have, if he came from California, he could have checked into the hotel and been a hotel guest. That doesn't give him access to where the event was. Obviously, you need a ticket to get there, but you still, if you are a guest at the hotel, you show them your room key. Say, "I'm a guest at the hotel." They'll let you in. They just won't let you into where the secure spot is. It sounds like once this person tried to move towards the secured area, and that's where he ran into magnetometers.
Oh, interesting. But I'm sure as the investigation goes on, they'll have more information about how this person entered the hotel and what his attempted business was before he did what he did. Well, you got any other questions or comments? I lost my train of thought about all this foolishness.
Not necessarily. You just showed it. The press corps is seated, and they're waiting for Mr. Trump to come in and speak, which is live on Fox. Just sitting there listening. Absolutely nothing right now. So it's moving along. They grabbed the guy. Mr. Trump is safe. Melania's safe. Everybody's safe. It's a win.
All right, we'll be right back with more of what's going on in D.C. Stay tuned, everybody.
Protecting your liberties. You're listening to Liberty News Radio.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Mary Rose. President Trump and other top government officials were evacuated from the annual dinner of the White House Correspondents after a security threat. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Secret Service agents removed the president, vice president, and cabinet members from the ballroom of the Washington Hilton. Attendees say they heard what sounded like gunshots from just outside the ballroom, which was packed with about 3,000 guests. Many in the crowd ducked under their dinner tables. Details have yet to be confirmed at this hour. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The White House Correspondents Association president says everyone is safe after the shooting incident and the event will be rescheduled. An officer was shot in a bullet-resistant vest at the Correspondents' Dinner but is expected to be okay, law enforcement officials say. The latest attempt at ceasefire talks between the U.S. and Iran appears to have failed. Tehran's top diplomat left Pakistan on Saturday, and President Trump says he told envoys not to travel to Islamabad. King Charles is on his way to the U.S. next week. Danica Kirka reports Charles is hoping to strengthen ties between Britain and the U.S.
King Charles III and Queen Camilla are embarking on a 4-day state visit to the United States. This is really a big deal for the king. He follows in the ever-present footsteps of his mother and has to try to give a speech that will match the one she did in 1991. It stressed unity among the peoples of the United States and the United Kingdom. It stressed their common culture, and it stressed the long ties between the military and the governments of both countries.
The American people are not happy with the way Congress is handling its job. A new Gallup poll shows Americans' approval of Congress has fallen to 10%. More on these breaking stories at townhall.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-2085. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-2085. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-2085 or biglou.com.
The Foundation for Moral Law is a nonprofit legal foundation committed to protecting our unalienable right to publicly acknowledge God. The Foundation for Moral Law exists to restore the knowledge of God in law and government and to acknowledge and defend the truth that man is endowed with rights not by our fellow man, but by God. The foundation maintains a twofold focus. First, litigation within state and federal courts. Second, education. Conducting seminars to teach the necessity and importance of acknowledging God in law and government. How can you help? Please make a tax-deductible contribution, allowing foundation attorneys to continue the fight. You may also purchase various foundation products as well at morallaw.org. Located in Montgomery, Alabama, the Foundation for Moral Law is a nonprofit, tax-exempt 501c3 founded by Judge Roy Moore. Please partner with us to achieve this important mission. morallaw.org.
Get ready to be part of something incredible. We're breaking barriers and delivering the powerful stories that mainstream media won't touch. Your support is what fuels our mission to revolutionize journalism and bring you the truth. Join our passionate community of changemakers by donating at libertynewsradio.com today. Together, we're creating the future of news.
Are you watching what's happening in our country and asking, what can I do? Join the John Birch Society in Salt Lake City, June 6th, for a powerful one-day conference. The day includes a host of respected speakers, 2 meals, and meaningful connections. You'll gain clarity on the issues and walk away with practical steps you can take to your community. Reserve your seat today at jbs.org/SLC26. That's jbs.org/SLC26.
you're still listening? Here's more 7-5 Radio.
All right, we are back. Scoop Stanton with Walter Yerkew and again Tony Sabio of the Uniform Division of the U.S. Secret Service Emergency Response Team. We are talking about the shots fired at the White House Correspondents Dinner at the Washington Hilton in Northwest D.C. Right now, the president is giving a press conference in the White House briefing room about the individual that was arrested. He posted on Truth that a picture of the arrestee, which is Cole Allen of Torrance, California. It's either Cole Allen of Torrance, California, or his twin brother. President just also stated that Allen was carrying multiple weapons at this time, and he's praising law enforcement. But Tony, real quick, as I'm watching the press conference, how did the Secret Service act tonight versus how they acted in Butler, Pennsylvania?
Well, I tell you this: that Butler, Pennsylvania, was in my view, a complete failure and breakdown, simply because of the perimeter wasn't set up. Now this particular one, I think that the layers of security were in place. There was no direct line of sight. Naturally, the last line of defense before coming inside would be the magnetometers to check for anyone. And granted, inside, when you start seeing PD and police department, law and Secret Service, they'll be in the lobby areas, the common areas, trying to look for certain people. I don't know what the attire of this person was, how he was dressed coming in. Did he look like a guest trying that possibly looks like he belongs in coming to an event like this? Don't know the exact details of that. But the way they had this set up, where he had no direct line of sight to the president, it's a success in the sense of they did everything they can to secure a very hard area to secure, especially when you have it's an active hotel. I would say this, that the speed of how they got everyone out of there, the whole cabinet. I mean, you had a potential disaster if there was a big crack within the security, because you had president, vice president, his whole cabinet. You had Speaker Johnson. There were just so many people that were at this event that it could have went to. If there was a real crack in the armor, it would have went really bad.
Right. Now, with the Speaker of the House and all the cabinet members, I know like the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has his own protective detail. Would their protective detail be there as well as Secret Service?
So you'll have, yes, the Secret Service will hold the inner perimeter, and anyone that goes in to that inner perimeter has to be Secret Service. Their detail will be right outside the main perimeter. So Hegseth, the Speaker of the House, they won't be allowed inside with any weapons. The only ones that have weapons inside the perimeter would be Secret Service. So they probably had one agent inside for each, unarmed. And then right outside, they have their detail on standby, ready to go. And most of the time, you'll have, a couple people close to the actual venue, the location, and the rest are staged at the vehicles, just in case of an emergency and they pull out, the route to the vehicles is already secured.
Wow, outstanding. What are you getting from POTUS, the press conference?
Well, he's thanking the Secret Service. He spoke to the Secret Service, to the member that was shot in the vest, who's at the hospital right now. He's got Kash Patel on one side, and I can't quite see who's on the other side. But he's talking about the love and admiration that he has for the people that protect him and such. So everybody got away safely and was taken in as per protocol.
Outstanding. Now, Tony, you're running for Congress in Virginia, correct?
Yes. In a new redistrict Virginia 8th congressional district.
Right. We'll talk about that if we get to the end of the program. Please. Your website is Sabio for Congress. That's Sabio for FOR. Those are my last names. It's SabioForCongress.com. Now, this incident happened tonight, and all the rhetoric that you and Walter were talking about, and where we live in Northern Virginia, which is like turning into another New York or Illinois. What do you say to these Chardonnay socialists about uniting, people like us on the right and them on the left? How would you get your message across the people?
So I would say this: there is a 10% on either side of the aisle, if it's the right or left, that are pretty fanatical on either side. Most Americans are sitting right in the center and looking at this kind of stuff, and regardless if they're Democrat, Republican, or independent, they look at this towards President Trump and they are horrified. There's no need for this. But what gets airtime is not the common sense people. It's the radicals on either side that get the airtime. And those are the ones that are going on X. Those are the ones that are going out there and posting the most horrible things that is spewing, anger, death, and everything else in between. And the way we need to unite on this is realize that the President Trump, no matter what, is the president. He's our president of the United States. He represents America, regardless if you voted for him or not. He represents that seat. And second to that, he is a human. He is a person. He has a family. He is a grandfather. He has kids. And when we start looking at what we're trying to do to take a person out just because you don't agree with their political views, our society has dropped big time with that. Where we're no more than a third world country if we keep acting like this. And I can tell you that there's a lot of people that are more in the middle, like I'm sitting right here as a politician, and we need to embrace them. We need to be the loudest voice in the room to quiet the nonsense on both sides. And second to that, when we have people like this person that tried to not just do harm to the President of the United States, do harm to anyone in that room. You got, people. Yes, he's coming to see to shoot at the president, but he's going to shoot. If he got through, he was going to shoot indiscriminately at anyone. Didn't matter who he was going to hit if he actually got through. And that could be anywhere from conservative journalists to Democratic or left-leaning journalists in there. And so when we start seeing people like this, crazed people willing to go to this extreme, these people, they're targeting anyone, and it could be whatever sets them off. And it is a crazy time. And when we have people like this going through and trying to create these headlines and causes fear, one thing that they're trying to do also is cause people, good people, to stop running for office, stop being a voice out there for common sense reasoning, stop supporting, stop being proud to be an American. They want you to live in terror that at any moment in time, one of these crazy lunatics are going to come out of the woodwork and come at you. And that is fearful. For myself being a politician, that is fearful, especially trying to connect with a lot of people more into the center, the more moderate Democrats, to try to bring common sense. They don't want common sense. They don't want a united country. They want to create this division. They want all this to happen. They want fear to happen within the people. And we have to keep fighting. We have to keep fighting through this. And, I will tell you that we have to, no matter what, when we look at this person, yes, he's coming out and it's a Democrat liberal that did this. But I have to say this, he does not represent the majority of good-hearted American Democrat people out there. And so we have to make sure that we understand that these far leftists do not represent the country. They don't represent, I would say this, go as far as this, they don't represent the true Democratic Party, which is a Democratic Party that is also built on common sense. And one thing we have to do is not alienate. We have to bring people closer together based on us being Americans. And if we continuously do that and just try to keep uniting, it's going to get better for us. But if we let them win, let them divide us, let them create this horrendous division, let them make us feel that represents all of the Democrats out there, then they're going to win. And we can't let them win on that.
Right, because I mean, especially Virginia 8th District with Don Beyer. I mean, oh my God, it's blue as blue can be. But God, good. As we come back, we'll finish up about the incident at White House Correspondents Dinner with myself, Walter Yerkew, and Tony Sabio. Stay tuned, everybody.
Introducing Managed IT Services from NPI. We offer top-notch data backup and recovery, email spam protection, and network security tailored to your needs and budget. With 20-plus years of experience in the medical field, our HIPAA-certified consultants know what it takes to protect sensitive information. Don't settle for less. Give us a call at 801-706-6980 and experience the difference with Managed IT Services. Remember, your IT support should be fast, efficient, and reliable.
Isn't this great? Just the two of us. No work, no interruptions, no phone, no TV. Finally, we have a chance to just talk. I mean, how long has it been? Well, first of all, we should talk about your schedule. There are a few things that could use some adjusting, but overall, I think it's going all right. Basically, I think we're doing a pretty good job of communicating, which is good. You're doing a really good job of letting me know how you feel about things. I want to keep the lines open, if you know what I mean.
Jerry? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing?
Oh, I was just giving Emily a bottle.
Who are you talking to?
Emily.
She's only 3 weeks old, and she's asleep.
I know. I was just practicing.
Family. Isn't it about time?
Isn't this great? Just the three of us. No work, no interruptions, no phone.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Introducing PrepStartsNow.com, your ultimate guide to readiness and peace of mind. We offer practical preparedness tools, training, and education to take your family's household readiness to the next level. Browse the prep shop for essential products, check out our planning guides, and stay informed with our prep blog. Visit PrepStartsNow.com and subscribe to our emails for exclusive offers, new products, and future events. Remember, preparedness begins with PrepStartsNow.com.
This is 7.5 Radio with Walter Yerkew. Walter Yerkew. Walter Kiwi. Here's Walton Scoop.
Hey, we are back. Scoop Stanton with Walter Yerkew and our guest, Tony Sabio. Follow him at TonyForCongress.com. SabioForCongress.com. That's SabioForCongress.com. Sabio all over social media, and during those very important commercials, instead of watching the Donald Trump press conference, I was looking at the Instagram account of our spokesman, Danila Rodrigues. Follow her at Danila Rodrigues model on Instagram. That's Danila Rodrigues with an S model on Instagram. Well, any other news coming from the press conference?
This shooting at the Washington Hilton is not the number one issue in the country tonight. It's not. The issue is that you said earlier you had a friend that was at the dinner. The issue, the big news is you have a friend?
Yes, I have friends, sir. Yes, breaking news. Shots fired at the White House Correspondents Dinner with Donald Trump, Vice President Vance, his cabinet, and the Speaker of the House. And Peter Scoop Stanton has a friend. And so that's also breaking news here on 7.5 Radio.
That was just shocking. That was just shocking. I just don't know what to say about that. I don't have any words for that story.
Okay. But we'll just leave it at that. But fortunately, my friend is safe. They didn't want to come on tonight to give a live report because, God forbid, they should come on and give us a live report from the scene of this international incident. So, anyways, Tony, here's a question. Virginia, these commies voted to redraw the district map. So now you got these Chardonnay socialists from Fairfax, Arlington counties, Alexandria City, Loudoun County, going to tell people in Virginia how to live. What does that mean for you in the primaries for the upcoming congressional race?
Well, I can tell you that, at first we had a lot of people disheartened of what happened. And, there's some really anomalies there that happened in Fairfax County that seems pretty suspicious. But nevertheless, it's in the court systems and we're still pushing forward. But I can tell you this, that the actual redrawn district for us actually works out a lot better. And, when we look at the numbers, how, just redrawing on this actually closed the gap we closed the gap 10 points on the polling system on how strong the district, it was a D26 and we're down to like a D16 with the new redistrict lines. So sometimes what they try to do to spread their deep, dark blue, it could backfire on them, especially with myself coming in more of a Reagan-style conservative, really trying to get with moderate Democrats. And so I can tell you this, there's a lot of moderate Democrats that don't agree with this far progressive left. And this right here, what they're doing at this shooting just shows it's going to push more and more of them away. What we need to do as a Republican Party is open our arms, just like Reagan did, as a big tent party, and say, listen, we're, come over here more to where we're at with common sense. And they're coming. I will tell you that at the polling stations, I had about 24 moderate Democrats sign my petition to get me on the ballot. So this actually makes it a lot easier. There's a lot of light blue areas now that we're going to concentrate on. So we feel confident. We feel hopeful. We're excited. The only thing is it spans 140 miles now. And that's a lot of distance to cover. So that goes, with the need for getting donations to get the message out. And I think what the Democrats are doing is horrendous. I think redistricting should never happen. And sometimes things that they think is going to work out in their favor may just bite them in the how do I say, in the behind at the end. Because there you go. Because they're discounting the fact that I'm able to connect with a lot of different people, independents, moderate Democrats, and we will pull them away. And incidents like this just shows how America is divided now. You don't have, and even the Democratic Party, I guarantee you're going to see more and more Democrats, sane Democrats, and we're not talking about the ones sitting right now in Congress. You're going to start seeing a lot of regular, normal American people that felt they can't be with the Democratic Party anymore. They're looking for a change. They're looking for common sense. And we're here with a message. And I'm saying to them, listen, I understand what you're saying. We may not agree on, 100% of things all the time. And frankly, that's all right. You should not agree with anyone 100% of the time, but I guarantee there's 80% to 90% we do agree on. It's only that 10 to 20% that we may disagree, but we can have a nice conversation about it. Maybe we could come to some solution and collaboration, and it's resonating with them. We feel excited. And we're never going to give up. We're not going to stop. And in the face of things like this, it makes my campaign even more excited about what we're doing, because we have to fight back. We have to be a voice of the American people, regardless if it's conservative, independent, or Democratic. We are a voice for the American people, and we're not going to stop.
Outstanding. Well, you have anything to add in terms of either the Virginia redistricting or the press conference, or a friend?
of the shooter. Brown skin, male, 31. You can write about his name. Teacher out in California. That's about it.
Right. But anyways, Tony, but don't worry about saying the word. I mean, we've had people say a lot worse, including Mr. Yerkew. Back in 2024, we're talking about the whole change thing, and Mr. Yerkew says, "Well, if a dude wants to be a lady, well, he needs to stick either a diaphragm or a tampon up his ass." So, anyways, this is 7-5 radio.
No worries. Yeah, I go from political events to political events, and the Democrats are always trying to pound on any little aspect of what I say to try to twist it around. So coming here and talking with you guys, real Americans, it actually means a lot. I just hate the fact that we had to talk tonight on a subject like this, dealing with somebody wanting to come in and do harm, not just to the President of the United States, but to anyone in that room. And I can't say it enough. The men and women of the Secret Service, they have a hard job being over there on the front line with them, being former Secret Service. I understand how hard it is, but their dedication to put their life in the line of fire, regardless of who's behind them. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter if there's a progressive news reporter. They will stand in front of that line of sight from that shooter to the protectees. And the men and women over there, they do an amazing job. And kudos go to them. And this officer that took a bullet to the chest, kudos to him. And I'm just so happy that God laid his hand upon him that to do his job and then come out of this, as a warrior, having that armor on and coming out here and being able to go back to his wife and kids at the end of the day. Because, when we start thinking about what's happening in the world, there's human lives are there to protect, and they're just doing their job, and they're the ones that are going to sacrifice their lives to protect the President of the United States.
Right. And Tony, not only to protect the Secret Service to protect the United States and the other dignitaries, but just law enforcement in general. And before we close, we always read off the names of members of the law enforcement community who were murdered in the line of duty. Tonight, remember Deputy Sheriff Thomas LeMay of the LaFleur County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Office, end of watch, April 19, 2026. His killer is in custody. So, like myself, Mr. Yerkew, and our Missing in Action co-host Mike Raybrandt, we were all members of the NYPD, and we were showing the door. Still consider ourselves members of the service, and if we ever get that call again, it's like, hey, you old timers need to come back. Guess what? Anyway, you want to add before we close?
I'm good.
But Tony, it's been a pleasure having you on. I'll make sure it's the correct show. But
no problem.
Let me ask you this: first, leave it to me. We had a great show. Our favorite movie star, Mr. Yerkew. Dan Rutberg came on and dropped the F-bomb, and he didn't realize he did it, and I was about to upload the wrong date. But anyway, Walter Yerkew, Tony Sabio, this is Peter Scoop Day to remind you, you can make a difference. Go out and make it. See you next week.
Thank you, Dave.
Edwards for 7-5 Radio. For those who work the streets and the jails, thanks for keeping us safe. So long, everybody.